I'm Mason Mount. You're listening to the London is Blue podcast.
I wasn't sure N'Golo Kante was going to play today. He was hesitant about coming back to training, Nick, rightfully so. Frank even talked about it before the match, said he had nothing but empathy for the guy. They're like, he hasn't played as many minutes. We're not really sure how match fit he is. Oh, damn, N'Golo, what did you do? And this was funny timing because we got the Stats Bomb heat map of his skills comparing him to Partey. Bruh. N'Golo Kante. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need to say. Nick doesn't even need to talk now.
I love this dude so much. He's probably my favorite player on the team. And to see him come back and look like he did pre-injury last year was stunning to me. I think one thing I can take away, Miles, from N'Golo Kante's performance today was not only the fact that he was all over the pitch making tackles, man-marking Grealish out of the game like a boss, was basically, glue on that dude. He also, in the 90th minute, as Chelsea were chasing a really important game, was the one pressing Villa's goalkeeper to get rid of the ball and make a terrible error. So I just, the energy and the sustained endurance for a dude who hasn't been healthy in a long time was incredibly impressive. And I know we're all worried about injuries right now because in the Bundesliga they're up something like 200% or more than that. But man, what a refreshing change of events for Chelsea there.
Yeah, it's also nice because after the Werner transfer and, the rumors around like Chilwell and Havertz over at Leverkusen, you've already got the rumor mill going of like, to offset that cost, they've got to sell someone like Kante. And there's been no indication from Frank or from Kante that he wants to leave. And I do think there are certain corners of the Chelsea fandom seeing him being injured this year, thinking like he's getting closer to 30, like, have we already seen the best of him? And it's like, no, this guy's still in his prime. When he's fit, healthy, when he's basically when he's on the pitch, he's exactly what you expect. Box to box midfielder. He's all over the place. Like Gary Lineker once said, it's like you have two of them out there, and that was definitely the case today. And I'm sure Grealish was frustrated, especially because he was fouled like 9 times.
9 times, and the most a single player has been taken down since May of 2017, which I'm gonna guess is Hazard. Like that had to be a Hazard stat.
So we can talk and look about that too. So Naz, good buddy of the pod at goal.com, he tweeted Kante on Grealish. There was a part of the game that was part of the game plan. It seemed Grealish was fouled 9 times, which is the most a single player has been taken down since May 2017, to your point, Dan. More importantly, though, as I read through that again, I like the fact that we knew Grealish is essentially the spine of their team. Let's just take him out of the game. We've seen this in other sports all the time. You see it in the NBA a ton.
It's Belichick, man. That's what Belichick does to every team. Take away your best player. Like,
we did it by chopping him down today. You wear little shin pads, you wear old boots. We're going to just kick you around the park a little bit. It was good to see Chelsea do something like that because that's the shit that like the Burnleys and the Bournemouths would do to us and it would rile us up. Now we're taking that tactic to them. And so to me, seeing that kind of dark arts, those, underneath tactics, because we had to your point, Dan, with Eden Hazard, where I think we had, was it Anthony Taylor or one of the referees finally caught on and ended up sending off whoever it was from Arsenal for.
Wasn't it? It was
United.
It was Herrera, right?
Yes.
It was Herrera who always kept on knocking him and just.
I knew it was one of those pains in the asses. And Herrera got a caution before, and they said next one of you to kick him gets a caution, and it was Herrera's dumbass. Anyways, I love that. Good memory. But now we are doing this. I wouldn't say it was systematic fouling like we've seen potentially City do. It was very targeted. So City do it across the board to anyone just to stop the counter because they're so pressed. This was targeted harassment a little bit on the pitch.
I loved the fact that Kante also was willing to take the yellow for the team and take him down from behind.
But that was the softest of the lot.
Yes, but the fragility of Grealish was like ice cream in the desert. He just melted and completely lost all composure after that. It was phenomenal. It broke any chance that they had of coming back in that moment. It was, and N'Golo Kante had a wonderful return to form, and it was quite pleasant to see.
You know what? It's Chelsea Youth had a really good tweet on that. Essentially, something about how Mason Mount way outshined Jack Grealish on the pitch today, and it was, because Jack has been hyped up. He's had some really good performances, but he's in a bad team. So if Mount can outperform in a better team, I like that. And it kind of goes back to like, why go buy that player when you probably already have that player in your squad? Which, if you want to address Mount real quick, which I think we should, everybody. Mm-hmm. Chelsea Youth again, 1999 born, academy product, plays for his country, proving himself at the highest levels, 2-footed, versatile, can receive possession anywhere, a proper talent both with and without the ball. Mason Mount. Look, we got to interview him, Miles, and I can tell you, he is one of the most humble, fun, down-to-earth guys ever. He had a day. He had himself a day today. And if you look at some of those stats, I can even let you run through them. The stats pack up the eye test today. Great day out.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like if there was anyone that could use a self-imposed break, it would probably be Mason Mount, because he's the guy who's so important to the way that Lampard plays. He's got kind of unlimited energy. When he's not on the ball, he's constantly pressing. His work rate is exceptional. And I do think even when he has had bad performances that this season, that helps offset, if he's having a bad game in front of goal or he's not creating chances, at least his work rate's always exceptional. And when it's all clicking like it was today, 11 touches in the box is exceptional. There was a terrific save by Nyland in the first half to prevent him from scoring with his weaker foot. And when he's clicking, it's funny. I remember when Villa played us at the Bridge, their fans are chanting that he was just a shit Jack Grealish. But without getting into a war of words on that, because you think they're both great players, he obviously silenced the Villa fans today.
Oh, because they weren't in the stadium. But if they were,
where's the automated crowd noise for that? You're just a shit Mason Mount. That's what the automated FIFA crowd noise should have been.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd have been next level fan audio right there if you got that in there.
I think what's interesting is
his facial
hair.
Hair?
We're not going to go into that.
By the way, I'm gonna do one
all
of
of
myself
us.
later. I'm gonna do a side by side of my old goatee as an 18-year-old versus his, and boy, both are bad. Both are bad choices. Go ahead.
I think the one thing I would say about Mason, it's so shocking to me that people think with the addition of Werner and maybe signing Havertz and all these other players, is people think, Mason's position is the one in like the biggest jeopardy. Kovacic was the first person to come off in the substitutes. Like, let's just remember, if you're looking at midfielders who got pulled off, Frank wanted Mason out there, and what he does from an attacking standpoint that is a little bit different. Like, he is developing into being, I think, a really great 8. And if he can nail down the goal scoring part of it with a little bit more regularity, done. It is so done.
Kovacic out. Hashtag Dan Dormer says.
That's exactly what I said.
Tweet it, Dan.
I get it, though. I totally get it. We've always talked about his versatility. Nick, I was really surprised that Mason was in the midfield 3 when Ruben was out on the wing. To me, it seemed like those could have been flip-flops, but Mason held his own. He was in between lines. To Miles' point, he did not stop running. He was always looking for space. He's overlapping Willian back in the middle, making little runs to the end line for Aspie to try to find him. But again, his versatility was on show today as a central midfielder. Like, no issues.
This team can't press without him. Is the long and short of it. I mean, if he's not in there, he's just shown this sustained energy, and I think he's growing with Premier League football, right? I mean, he's still incredibly young, and we have to remember that. But I think, from where he was earlier in the season, when I think he was kind of running at full speed for the first 45 minutes, and then you saw the performance kind of tail at the end. I think he's holding better now, and I think he's definitely growing into a really good Premier League footballer, and it's exciting to see.
Credit where credit is due today. Tweety saying Mason Mount, absolutely top tier, and N'Golo Kante, absolutely top tier. And they're right. Those two had a great day. Kovacic, not as much, but no concerns going into this match. Player of the season to this point. So, again, just figuring out the balance. And you know what? It's Villa too. Barkley gives a little bit more attacking. Like, we could go at them, and we were chasing the game. So I like that Frank could bring on different players off the bench and give Villa a different look as well, because that's important when we talk about squad management.